Shalom, shalom, Israel. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to all the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts day in and day out. Shalom to you. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, and the speckled bird that has been scattered across the four winds that look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to a black, Hispanic, or Native Indigenous and goes even further to the lineage of Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, and Jacob. Salakia. Okay, so in case you didn't know, Yahweh is the true ancient Hebrew name, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh, meaning He is, He exists. Yahweh Shai is the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai, meaning He saves, He delivers. Bahasham is coming in a name, and Rekakwadash is Spirit Holy. Okay. Today's video don't really have the name of the title, but it is concerning these the woe number 3 and how this wicked heathen empire has always used our people and continues using our people because our people are continuously lost sheep. Okay, they are walking zombies, completely oblivious to who they truly are and what they're even doing. Okay, so, so many of our people right now are going to start being drafted, as you saw the law get passed. And this has been done throughout the centuries, especially here in spiritual Babylon, a.k.a. America, from the Civil War to all the wars, World War I, World War II. They've always had Jake on the front line. They've always forced and put Jake in a position where he has no choice but to join their armed forces because he has nothing and he is a homeborn slave. Okay, and they always sell him on that dream, on that wolf ticket that some way, somehow, when you pledge your allegiance to this wicked heathen empire, that you will be better off or your future descendants will be. And here it is still 2026. And we find ourselves still being oppressed. Find ourselves being the number one target of these executive orders throughout the whole land. Find ourselves to be the number one target when it comes to the police stations. Or the number one targets, the number ones to blame when it comes to a new political agenda to be pushed, a certain narrative to be pushed in order for them to keep in control and, give somebody a reason to blame. Okay, we are the target, have always been the target, and continue to be the target. Okay, let's get started here. And Salakia for the long intro. But just to kind of get an idea, summary of what I'm trying to talk about today in this lesson. Okay, let's go here to, let's start here, Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Okay, he's talking about Yasharallah, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America. But in context, in this particular chapter, it's talking about Judah right now, okay? Because if you read in the beginning, the sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with a point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. Okay? This is the curses. This is what happened to the southern kingdom of Judah, the so-called black man, the so-called African American, the so-called so many names, and they constantly change throughout the the years, okay, causing further confusion and causing even now more division even within that community. And they have done this not only with the southern kingdom of Judah, they've done this with the northern kingdom, the so-called Hispanics and Native Indigenous of the America, the first nations to inhabit here, the whole Americas, okay? And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And this is as far as our people go, man. They listen to these Edomites and their sorcerers, their wicked sorcerers of historians, so-called historians, that change the true history and that manipulate the true people and who they truly were. Okay, and the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom originate from Yasharallah, the true ancient Hebrew name of Israel, Yasharallah, okay, many centuries ago. And we know this through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. Okay? And so many people will say, well, if you're indigenous, if you're so-called native, indigenous, First Nations people, whatever byword or whatever name you could think of, that's not who you truly are. Okay, that just gives a little bit of a clue, but at the same time, it leaves people clueless who you truly are, right? Just like Judah, all they know is that they came from Africa, the west coast of Africa, and that's just part of the story, because their original land is the nation of Yasharallah. They are the true Judah from the Bible, okay? And yes, they lived in west coast of Africa and other parts of Europe as well. But that's because they were in exile. Okay, this is because they had to flee because the real nation of Yasharallah was conquered. Okay, by so many people. Okay, until this modern day, it is inhabited by heathens. Okay. Let's continue here. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Okay, the Lord is extremely upset with the Israelites. Okay, for discontinuing their heritage. Okay, we turned our back on Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, on the fact that we were true Hebrew Israelites from the Bible, and worship other idols and worship these other heathens and their idols and their way of being. And it has brought nothing but torture. It has brought nothing but anguish to our nation of people. Let's continue here. Number 5. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man. And that is the number one problem with the Israelites, right? We've always trusted another man, and even worse, a heathen man, an Edomite man, the worst vile base man of the world. We love his ways, and we've have completely submitted ourselves to this captivity and completely bend the knee to their wicked heathen empire. Let's continue. And maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Okay? And that's exactly what has happened. You know, we have departed from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Okay, this was all part of prophecy. The Lord allowed this to happen, to have these heathens take us captive, to have these heathens rule over us and make us the tail. Throughout all centuries and every parts of the land, we have been the tail and they have been the head. Okay? And you're seeing a lot of people now, a huge massacre of people that is going to be done by this wicked heathen empires that are going to go to the woe number 3. And as always, using our people as front line. Okay? You know, throughout history, Jake has always been in the front line. Okay, the first ones to be sent, the first ones to go and try to take over a certain station or a base, they are the first ones. Okay, because Jake, even though he's in captivity, Jake has always been blessed to be very talented, even under submission. You see us somehow sneak through the cracks and be able to elevate ourselves somehow. And people are at marvel at that, right? Because they don't know who we are. Okay. And then a vast, huge amount of people of our nation don't know who we are. Okay. This is why we are completely lost and so naive and gullible to go out here and sacrifice our own lives and send our own kids for a wicked heathen empire, right? And it would all be done in vain, man. Because at the end of the day, everything that's done in this world is considered vain if it's not for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? It is all done in vain, man. All this suffering and killing, it will all be done in the name of falsity, in the name of a false idol, a false god, and a false empire that constantly keeps preaching that it is a sovereign, God-fearing nation. It constantly keeps preaching that, but it's the polar opposite of that. In fact, it's a heathen nation that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to destroy. This is spiritual Babylon. Okay? And you can keep drinking that fake Kool-Aid all you want, but nothing but shame is going to cover you when you do find out that you will be going against Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai himself and his host of armies. Okay? Let's continue here. We have no clue of what we're doing or what's going on. Okay, this is and a lot of our people have no knowledge and understanding. Okay, they don't know who Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai truly is. Okay, and they try to figure out his ways, but they will never figure out his ways, right? Let's go here to Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Okay? So if you're trying to figure out the duality of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and why he does what he does, is because you're a rebellious, wicked heathen, man. Okay? Trying to figure out the Lord's ways. And as we just got done reading, you don't know the Lord's ways, all right? This is why you have to seek Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai with humility and sincerity. Okay, you got to seek him, like it says in Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Okay, the very first thing you must endure is the fear of the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. If you can't do that, then you're just a walking zombie, and you are going to learn the hard way. And you are going to be filled with shame once you find out that you was on the side of what the Bible calls the Edomite Empire, the physical counterpart of Satan, the Edomites, which go back to Esau. Okay? All this stuff that's going on, people are about to get drafted, all these people, some people willingly are going for it, and some people has to be forced. Hey, man, if you get forced, you got to do what you got to do. You have to pray on it. If you're a true man of the Lord, you have to pray on it that you could, somehow escape this wicked punishment that's coming here to Babylon the Great and all the so-called people that are fighting for it. Okay, let's go to Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Okay, and who's taking peace right now? Who has everybody mourning? Esau, Edom. the Edomites, which go back to Esau, which are the self-proclaimed white man. Okay. More and more, this truth is coming out across the four winds, and more people are becoming wise to the fact. Okay, let's continue. And that they should kill one another. Okay, ultimately, this is part of prophecy. And this is why the Lord has allowed all this to happen, right? So these devils, which were blessed with the fatness of the earth and the great sword, was meant to be that way so they could have essentially killed each other. Okay. And this is how you know we're talking about the Edomites, who is the ruling empire right now across the globe, who has the most sophisticated technology of weapons throughout the whole world. Here, spiritual Babylon. Okay. And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. There you go. Given unto him. Who is him? The Edomites. Who is the red horse? And there went out another horse that was red. Okay. This is talking about the four horses. Okay. They're going to be coming out, here soon. And this one in particular, the red horse, this is exactly what we're living real time right now. The red horse has been given the power by Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right. And this has been going on for centuries. Okay. This is why you see the world mourning. All right. Don't scriptures say when the wicked ruleth, the people mourneth? But when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. Okay. There's no rejoicing right now. Everybody's struggling in pain, in anguish. People are ranting all over social media. People are stressed out, don't know what to do. People are wigging out, man. Fighting in the middle of the street. Some people shooting people for no damn reason. Some people killing themselves. Why? Because the wicked are in power. Job 9:24. The world was given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where is he? Okay, this devil has been doing this for centuries, man. Covering the true faces of the true judges. And making them invisible. And making them mute, right? Taking away their voices. Okay, no prophet has ever had a platform to truly preach, right, till now, because Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai let the technology of the satellites that are under the firmament here to be able to spread this message. This is the only reason we have this technology. Okay, you can find that in the second book of Ezra 6 and 20. It speaks on that. Okay, that's another topic for another day. But let's get to it right here. This is Esau Edom, the red horse that was given power to take peace from the earth. And eventually, these crazy fools are going to kill each other. Thus said Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai with the great sword. We could look that up real quick. We'll go here to Genesis 5, Salakia 25 and 25. It's going to talk about the red horse, which is Esau. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Okay. Esau. Let's see what they got for his. This is Esau. Okay. Isaac's son, Jacob and Esau, right? Let's look at the lexicon here. Esau, the son of Isaac, twin brother of Jacob, also called in the Hebrew Adam. Okay, they have a different transliteration here, but you can see where it says here, which is, however, more used with a regard to his posterity than of the man himself. Okay? Edomites. All the Edomites go back to Esau. Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, which are the self-proclaimed white man. Okay? And you see this word right here called Adawam, which is, however, more used with regard to his posterity. And the word posterity, if you go into that, it means descendants, right? The descendants of Edom. Okay? This is Esau, Edom. Let's go to, I think it was 27. Here you go. 27 and 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, the dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. Okay, we know that Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, has gone around throughout the four winds of the world, colonizing and taking the resources of all the nation. Here, just recently, about a month ago, over there in Venezuela. Okay, this is 100% fact. Esau, Edom, the Edomites are the so-called European man, the so-called, right? Because they're not even that. They go back to truly Mount Sears, okay, from the Caucasus Mountains, which is spreading like wildfire throughout social media. Everybody's calling them the Caucasus Mountains people, okay? Let's continue reading here in number 40. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt thou serve thy brother. Okay, this is the punishment that's coming to Esau, Edom. And by the sword shalt thou live, and there you have it. These people live by the sword and die by the sword. Their whole nations, everything they've ever accomplished, everything they've ever gotten in this world has been through carnality, right? Through vigorous violence, man. Okay, through the sword. This is why he is the red man. Okay, this is why he's Edom. Okay. And it shall come to pass, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay? This is all part of prophecy. And this has all been going on and continues going on. Okay? They wanted to bring out this real quick. I think it was Genesis. Genesis 2 and 7. And the Lord Yahweh formed man of dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul, right? And that man, if you go to the transliteration, is Adam, right? They have it as Adam, but it's really Adawam, okay, which is Edom. And there you have it right here, man. Let's look at the Hebrews transliteration, Adam.
Strong's H120, Adam, Adam.
There you go. Let's look at the Chaldee lexicon here. And you see how they have red right here. The Arabs distinguish two races of men, one red and ruddy. And ruddy is another word for like like a brownish red bone. And then red was really white because it's more like a pinkish, you could see the blood through their skin, vanishing away as heat Adawam, okay, which we call white, the other black. You see that? Because nowadays you got white and there's no such thing as white. Okay, white is a paper, there's no such thing. The self-proclaimed white man proclaiming to cast a spell on people to portray himself as something pure and heavenly like, okay, to disguise himself as the true red Edomite that he is, okay. And then you got the other black, right? There's no such thing as black. Nobody's black like a piece of plastic, okay. There's different shades of brown, of pigment, okay. If you look up the word pigment is never one solid color. Pigment is variations of color. If you look at under a microscope, is variations of browns. That is what pigment is, and that is what you see on people's actual skin. It's pigment. You don't see one single color perfectly all across. All right, this is why you look human. Okay, nobody's white, and nobody's black, but there is the self-proclaimed white man, which are the Edomites. Okay, that they are kind of pinkish, because you can see their blood through their transparent skin. Okay, just to get an idea of what they're talking about here. And I wanted to see if Salakia for that. Okay, because they have the Adam, but there you go, right above. No, that's not it. This is not it. Let me see if I could. I had it the other day and I can't find it. But yeah, this is why you have to study, because the transliterations are not always 100% correct. Okay, as you can see, they have foreign man. They have it written like Adam, right? And they have the word man there. And you see how it's spelled over here. Let's take a look again. Sorry about that, Salakia. You see how it's spelled man right here, Adam. You see that Adam right there? Adam. Okay, mankind, human being. Adam, right? First man, right? And they have it under man, right? But it clearly says it's Adam. Okay, Adam. And look at the Hebrew transliterations, Adam. And then we saw earlier, if we go back to the Genesis 27, I think it's 27. Go to 41 here. All right, let's go here to, I just had it earlier. I think it was in Esau, but under the lexicon, you see, there you go. Right here, you see, and they have it under Esau. You see that? And there it is right there, called also Adawam, but they got the little wall right there. You see that? Esau, the son of Isaac, the twin brother of Jacob, called also Adawam, right there, which is, however, more used with regard to his posterity than of the man himself. Okay, so this goes into describing his posterity, meaning Adawam, also called also Adawam, in regards to his posterity. When we go into that word posterity, it means descendants, and this is what his descendants were called in the Hebrew. Okay, there we go. Posterity refers to all future generations of people or the direct descendants of a specific person, right? The direct descendants of a specific person. Future generation, descendants, or offspring, right there, the definition. And they got a couple examples here. Example number 2, she recorded her family history for posterity. Okay, descendants, look at synonymous of posterity, descendants, offspring. Okay, heirs, Esau, Edom. Okay, let's go to and this is what's coming to Esau, Edom, man. For the controversy against Israel, the Israelites, right? For the constant oppression, the constant slavitude, their punishment is coming, right? Their blessing was the sword, but like we just got done reading earlier, it will also be their demise, man. It will also be where they get completely destroy their own empire, all right? By their lust for blood and their lust for controlling the world and having that godlike complex. Okay, this devil has always had that and continues to this day until prophecy is fully fulfilled here on earth. Okay, and we're gonna go to Revelations 7:3, saying, "Heard not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads." Okay, and it's talking about the elect. Okay, the angels were instructed not to hurt the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Okay, let's just talk about the hopeful elect, the 144,000. Okay, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144 and 4,000 of all the tribes of the children of Yasharallah. Okay, 12,000 from the 12 tribes is 144,000. Okay, This is what it's speaking on, man. Okay, this is who the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua ultimately is coming for salvation only. Okay, because the rest of our people are completely in denial, are completely lost, man. They have no clue of who the true living power of the universe and the world is, man. They have no clue. They're going to be in direct opposition against the most powerful force of the universe, which is Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Okay, they will be in great fear when they witness the power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. They will be in great terror when they have to face him. And they will be in great shame as well when they realize, and it'll be too late then, that they are, in fact, the nation of the Hebrew Israelites. We're talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America that have lost your heritage, right? Like we just got done reading in the book of Jeremiah, right? This is what's getting ready to happen. And, again, you have so many of our people that have decided to bend the knee and have no clue who they are and want to worship the idols of the world only to be destroyed by Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Okay, the true living power. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end it with this one here. Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay, there's only been 2 woes throughout history. And this third woe has been prophesied in the book of Revelations by the true men, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who do rule well and continuously bringing out this 100% true gospel for the nation of Yasharala to receive and, repent and have an opportunity to receive salvation. Okay? So again, I'm going to go ahead and end it with that. Before I go, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the 4 winds of the world to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the Americas, and the speckled bird that has been scattered across the 4 winds that look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Shalom, shalom.